Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Asphyxiate, aka Axie, and today we're going to be doing some commentary and analysis on some keys that my group did last week. We'd been planning for this week for a while. It was like our Giga Push week. We went from 4.7 to 5.6k IO in like 5 or 6 days of play. And yeah, I just want to basically go over the recordings that I have for some of our keys, see what I did well, see what I did poorly. Maybe this helps you get an idea of where you should be using cooldowns as a Demon Hunter, or maybe just gives you some ideas of like routes or strategies for general Mythic Plus gameplay. But yeah, I hope it's interesting to you guys. If at all you find yourself like enjoying this or finding it helpful or useful in any way, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I want to be uploading a bunch of videos like this for like each of the dungeons we do, and see like my progression and stuff like that. And hopefully it helps you guys out as well along the way. And I'm also going to be streaming on Twitch a lot more in our next push week. So you can come and chat and ask questions and just see us do keys live and see what it feels like. But we're gonna get into it. First up, this is gonna be all about our 27 Underrot. This was the first 27 we timed and we were like super hyped about it. So yeah, let's get into it.
All together anyway, right?
We're playing it all together actually. It's
Yeah.
So straight away from the
Yeah.
start,
I think you need to
I
go
imprison
one
this
after
maggot
the
so that we
second
can run
boss.
past it and
Yeah,
skip
yeah,
it.
You take that,
It's just not
Wait,
worth
okay.
the trash percent that it does. Like it just takes too long to group up with the rest of this pack here that we do,
Rally?
and we don't want to do it with the ticks over
Okay.
here because it's bolstering and the health pool's just
I
super uneven.
kicking next.
Our kick target here is the priest, and our mage is out here baiting the charges, since he can use his cauterizer's ice block,
Alex, you hold your kick. You're gonna kick next,
and
okay?
survive the first two, and then hopefully we kill before the third.
Stun trust.
So my metastun was a little bit late at the start. I missed the barb shots and the hook snares, like the first one out. So I need to improve on that. I need to get to the pack a bit faster.
Alex, go out. Zota's coming.
I was worried about fell rushing too close to the imprisoned maggot in case I broke it.
Nice. Darkness melee.
Fine.
So yeah, we're just using defensives, like I'm using my blur, I'm using my darkness, etc., just to make sure that we survive this pack. It gets a little bit messy with, I think we end up with 3 deaths total.
Alex, no, total.
Alright.
You don't have.
No, I have blue.
So we're calling the cooldown for it. He blocks, oh no, yeah, he blocks the charge, so he doesn't die from it. And the matron's triple bolster, which is pretty scary, but we get through it somehow.
Oh, it charges.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. We can recover from that.
Yeah, let's go.
Rerune.
No darkness here. No, it's okay. Just be careful. Another thing which I hadn't realized at the start of the week was empowered proxy potions are actually like they
Scalding cross.
update the targets around you. Like I always thought it was like when you used it, the number of targets around you was how much agility you get. But I didn't realize that they update like retroactively. So I need to I need to stop using these normal agi potions. For this pack, we're basically just killing stuff individually or like 2 at a time at most. Just because the amount of damage they do when they're bolstered and on a high key is actually quite scary.
Going in. Is it combust on pull?
Yeah.
Alright.
So our tank asks if it's combust on pull, because if our mage is combusting, we want to drag this blood to all of the tentacles and spread our mage's ignite. And that way he can just do some massive damage on all the tentacles.
Kicks and stun for yourself, especially. We do one rotation.
During this phase with the tentacles up, we just use our like stuns and interrupts like anywhere we can basically. There's not really anything else you need to use them on anytime soon. Just LOS it out.
Go down this way. Go down this way. That's hotspot. That's zone. Oh, Zoltas just kicked me. We just go.
So I kicks that tentacle on the way down, and now we're just gonna line it all the way down, or like
It's
max
like a
range it so that it snaps down with us.
Big damage, yeah. Big damage.
Our damage priority is always on this blood at this point, because
Zoltas.
we're time gated by that dying rather than the tentacle dying. Also, we're trying to stay stacked on the left side so that we leave a clear path. There was a bad soak, so our mage is stuck behind, but he just blinks through.
Everyone check your runes, flask up again. I'm gonna fish feast for all of us, yeah, that died.
In buff for Renan. I'll reflect this, okay? Just go max range. It's dead. It's called blood, we need more damage. Pot now.
So we drop combat pre-pop for the boss, and our tank just pulls us out of the obelisk. He's calling his kicks and reflects on the boss and the ad as well, so that we don't overlap or interrupt his reflect.
Alex.
Because you can see that the spell reflect does so much damage. I think he spiked at like 200k DPS just from that first spell reflect, and it just makes the boss go so much faster, and saves you a lot of time as well in high keys.
Reflects. Axie add. Watch feet. Color out. No trinket. Alex boss. More damage, way more damage. We'll need a second pot this. Axie boss.
It's really been
I
maxing.
haven't composted yet.
I reflect next. Second pot now. Zelda's out, I get boss.
So I swap onto the ad here because I'm pretty sure that we're not going to
Actually,
kill the
ad?
boss before the ad,
Alex
so
boss.
we need to take care of it. But after this ad dies, we just focus boss. We're not going to get another one.
Watch feet. I reflect. Ad's gonna go off. I'm gonna wall that. Zoltus, ad, Axie boss.
Oh.
It's fine. Watch feet. I got boss here. Watch feet. Alex.
Yep.
Axie might have to kick out. No.
Alex's kick might be late. This actually might have to get Alex's first, that's all.
No, we don't need his kick. It's fine.
So next our
Ready?
pull is double lasher and triple rot. So we mark our
Triple
lashes
lasher.
so that we can call our kick assignments, just so that
I guess
nothing
star.
goes off.
You're crossed.
Watch patrol.
Rots will need more damage, yeah?
For whatever reason, this decay
Goes off
mine
Axie,
goes
goes
off,
off.
and I get stunned, but I just get dispelled like 3 seconds in, so it's not the end of the world. It can be quite
And you
scary
need
if you
it.
get the like
Oh,
green
no.
shit on the floor
Yes.
overlapped with the stun, and you just can't move out and you get one shot. It's really fun.
Skull marker's healthy. I changed markers, yeah, is that fine? I don't know.
Also, if you're new to keys or like you haven't set up a focus target and a focus target kick macro yet, it's actually like game changing. You just make sure that you're focusing,
Don't
like
heal
you've
me,
got your
easy
focus
damage.
target on
X
your
marker,
kick
very
assignment
healthy,
every
X
single
marker. I
time,
changed your marker, Alex.
and that way you don't have to swap off the mobs that you're
X
like
marker's healthy,
actively
neutral.
attacking just to interrupt, and it makes your life so much easier. Especially on bolstering
Star
weeks, because you
marker's
want to be
healthy.
like swapping between different targets to make sure they all die relatively evenly.
X marker giga healthy, yeah?
You can hear our healers calling which targets are healthy, just so that we try and cleave everything down evenly.
Axie your skull. I'll get cross.
So in this pull, we're focusing down the Blood Swarmer, because that's
Someone
honestly the
that's
scariest mob in this dungeon, I swear.
Let's go.
I've got a kick on the Lasher, so I've got that focus focus
Just
targeted
bolster
as
the
well.
tactical somewhere.
And our healers actually spam hibernating the Lasher, the Blood Swarmer, so that even though he's
Call the
fixating
Swarmer.
on enemies, he
Alex,
doesn't
you can cage the
actually
maggot.
like charge over to them and start attacking them.
Yep.
Actually, get off melee.
You can see that it swapped to me and I got meleeed once, and it took me down to like half
Yeah.
health.
You can hit everything, just
Um,
not the sword.
And so even though our healers like hibernate spamming the Blood Swarmer, if I move into melee
Put maggot
range,
in,
it
put
will
maggot this time.
melee me
Actually, you
between
get close.
hibernates. So we pull this maggot
this
in
one,
late
maggot,
just
kill the
because we
maggot,
didn't have
stop,
enough
stop,
control
stop.
otherwise
Bolstering.
for the Blood Swarmer and the maggot and the rest of the pack. So now we're just like
Finish.
prior damage on the maggot, and it should all die
Stop
relatively
dying.
evenly.
Maggot needs to die. Can you taunt out the maggot maybe? I don't know. I don't think you get it.
So I fell rush out to try and taunt it
Just kill
out,
it,
and then
just
they
kill
say,
it.
no, don't
Everything's
worry,
like-
just kill it.
Single target.
So I came back in and missed my
Um,
kick on it, on the Lasher.
Big single target, yeah? Like, I'm just doing nothing but single target right now.
I can't stop this. Move.
DB.
PvE.
I think it's DR'd, right? Or no?
I got trapped.
So
we
our
couldn't
tank
do the
asked whether it's
bad,
DR'd
because we
for stuns, but we didn't call it early enough. I should have
It'll be easy
made
to
sure that we
do
had a
it by
backup
itself.
interrupt for it, because
Yeah,
if
it's-
it wasn't,
Axie-
like if it
Axie
was
go across,
DR'd and the stun
on
didn't work,
Skull,
it could have killed
it's
us.
Review on star. Zoltus get first on star. With the Swarmer, okay?
I'm just not.
chaining in another Swarmer after?
Yes, yeah, it's a prior Swarmer.
So I'm
I'll
just
just
making
head
sure that
around.
we're chaining
No,
in
no, get
another
off
Swarmer
melee,
afterwards,
get
because that means we need to kill the Blood Swarmer while the rest of the pack's about 50% health, just so that the second Blood Swarmer dies at the same time as the rest of the Lashes.
It's gonna swap in 3 seconds. Axie ready. Kill that Swarmer.
So we call that the fixate swapping in 3
Alex, you can
seconds,
kill.
so that I am
Just
ready
don't
to like
get
move out of
melee.
melee range if I need to.
I'm pulling your Swarmer in.
So yeah, the Lashes are like 40% health, so like pulling
Yeah,
this Blood
I'm
Swarmer
gonna
in should
fixate
be
this, you have to
fine.
pull it across.
Zoltus kick.
Because if we kill the 3
So we target
lashes
to kill
while this
lashes.
Bloodswarm is still alive and it gets triple bolstered and melee someone, they're just gonna get one shot. It's on range.
Yeah.
I'm next star.
The only downside to this strategy of like pulling in the Bloodswarmer, like 2 Bloodswarmers per pack, is that we don't have that much priority damage. Like, unless our hunter doesn't beast
Yep,
cleave,
get off melee axis.
like everyone else
It's
just
on
cleaves, you know?
Alex. Come back.
Like our mage spreads ignite on his combustion and shit like that. Pretty much all of my abilities are cleave abilities. And then our hunter, like he needs to be multi-shotting for cooldown reduction as well, like to a certain extent. Considering we have no prior damage, that's actually really good.
We do this like this every time. Actually, you get kicked from me, okay? Actually, the 2 of you rotate the star, both of you. Zolta's your first kick.
You mean X? I deal with maggot.
On X, sorry.
Yeah.
2 of you rotate X.
Axie careful.
Means
So I'm playing the role of a rogue in this dungeon where I have to control the maggot. So I've got my Fel Eruption, I've got my Chaos Nova, and I've got my Imprison to deal with 3 of them. And then after that, we just need to start using like Dragon's Breath from our mage, like the Fear from our Prot Warrior, stuff like that. I need a DB on next maggot.
Yeah.
So you can hear I call for a DB on the next maggot because all of my abilities have been used. I do get Fel Eruption here, but I'm worried that it might be DR'd because I'm meta stunned as well.
Any second now.
I'm
It's on
pulling
Axie.
somewhere. I'm pulling somewhere.
I think we just finished, to be honest.
No,
Oh,
we can,
okay.
we can.
No.
So you hear, I wasn't sure whether we had enough single target or like priority damage on the
Can you DB
Bloodswarmer to not bolster it, but my group was confident that we could do it, so we pulled it in.
Okay, is it DR?
Oh,
I
I'm
got
locked,
next
I'm locked,
flash
I'm locked, I'm locked. Need to run,
Okay, I can DB, DB.
I stunned her, it's fine.
Do you have fear for
Alex,
next?
that's careful.
I got a trap down.
Stopping target, Axie careful, Axie.
It's on Axie.
I got next
I
flash.
blurred there where I didn't really need to. I was worried that I was going to get meleeed, but I don't think there's anything else in the next minute or so that I would need blur on anyway, so it's not the end of the world. So Bloodswarm is definitely looking healthy here, and I can't go in and melee it while it's fixating me.
When you can't get Rain, you need to tell us immediately. Axie just has to get next.
It's fine, we're good now, we're good.
It's gonna swap in 7. Axie walk up.
So we're worried that if our healer doesn't keep Hibernate spamming and it gets a cast off with 5 bolsters, then we're just going to get one shot. So we're very aware of like needing to interrupt this if it's going to go through. Good job.
We just play everything, okay?
Yeah.
Watch the threat.
I focus target maggot.
So this is quite a big pull. Next, we're doing the 4 Guardian pack and these like Living Rots and the Lasher. The thing to worry about here is you've got a Death Speaker here that's going to cast Raise Dead. So we just have to make sure that it gets interrupted. Because our healer is just spam hibernating the maggot since there's no Bloodswarm in this pack, I don't have to worry about interrupting the maggot, and I can just make sure that the kicks go off on the Lasher, and then our ranged are doing the Death Speaker. He's just spamming. I'm Novering here.
Is that speaker dead?
I Nova there mostly just for like soul fragments and to get some fury and cooldown reduction on my eye.
Bunny's down.
You're good now, hold the packs down, pump.
Purge the shields whenever you can, everyone.
Skull marker is healthy. Skull marker is healthy. Kick skull. Like someone uses a free kick on skull or some shit. Soothe, please. I'm just playing
I'm trying, yeah.
Focus skull and X marker.
I can kick skull now. Nice DP.
Good job.
Maggot.
Boss with lust. Meldrainen. Drink.
Just go.
Lust.
First charge might be shit.
Move for me.
So here we just start talking
so
about our
Alex is
CDs.
using
We
some
had
level
pre-assigned it in the 26 we did the previous
I'm
day.
marking Zoltus. What were you using? Axie?
And Hellstone if I need.
I have double.
So we're just making sure that everyone remembers their
I
I
cooldowns.
might have double.
Tell me, you have to tell me before it
I
happens.
can't tell you. Yeah. Depends on
How
corruption.
much?
So even on high keys, we should only ever get like 2 or 3 tantrums. If we ever get a 4th tantrum, like our DPS just isn't high enough. I don't think that even at 28 we'd get a 4th tantrum. So we just have to make sure that we've got enough cooldowns to survive the 3, and then after that the boss should die. We actually scuff up our soak spots here, but
I got you.
it ends okay.
I don't need any heals.
This is my
Everyone's
spot.
safe.
Where am I going then?
You were meant to be this area.
You were
Near
exited.
Doesn't matter, as long as we fall spread. Second pot.
Okay, I'll go towards exit next time.
Watch frontal. Watch frontal. I'm just gonna aim this way right now.
So where am I going next? I don't actually know. So for that last
Yeah.
tantrum, I use my
This
blur,
side of
because
the-
it'll be up for
No,
the
no,
third
you-
one, and then next
Sure,
one
sure,
I
sure,
just
sure,
use
sure.
my nether walk, and just immune the damage.
I'm
It-
like close exit.
Okay. I'll go
It doesn't matter. As long as you guys aren't overlapping in position,
Yeah.
just don't overlap.
Like Alex and I were on top of each other.
I'm rallying
I'll
this
go
one.
exit, I'll go exit. I nether walked a bit
I
too
don't
early.
need to
So
use it.
what
I
we
don't need to
decided
use
in a previous queue, or what I decided was I should let the first tick of tantrum go off and then
That was
nether
actually a
walk,
hotspot, JK.
because the bigwig's timer isn't always 100% accurate. Like just because the timer
Yeah, I
goes
just landed
off,
the wrong
he doesn't always instantly cast
Alex
it,
might
and
be
that way I
wrong,
can
too.
end up wasting, I don't know, 1 or 2 seconds of my nether walk, which is really, yeah, like it's really
We'll get
valuable
one
if I
more
just get the
charge
full
maybe,
uptime
depending
during
on what you're
tantrum.
doing, yeah.
One more tantrum, yeah, maybe.
Definitely, yeah.
25 seconds, 15 mil. We can actually push that, right?
Maybe.
20 seconds.
Actually, I have a small combust.
Bro, push it, push it. I'm not doing heals yet. 12 mil, 14 seconds slots.
I think we get it.
I mean, still be ready for the
Yeah, we
tantrum.
got
This is
darkness. Everyone stack for one tick. Oh, just put on Raynon. Raynon's diamond.
So I put my darkness on
I
our
gotta
healer
get
Raynon,
Go
so
ahead.
that while he's just standing there casting, he hopefully gets some damage reduction.
I'm fine.
I'm pretty sure it it avoided the damage for 1 tick, but the rest of them still hit him. But it's better than nothing.
Let's go boss, let's go boss. Ignore this, bad charge here. Ignore the soaks, just go boss.
Going in Obelisk. You
Killing
don't have
it.
tantrum, so what's the plan? Just hold it here anyway.
So our tank says we don't have
No,
tantrum. He
no,
meant we don't
yeah,
have
we just
combust,
chill
so
for
we're just
the-
chilling here until combustion's up. And then once our mage
Hold it.
combusts on the target, we just run it through so that the ignite spreads onto all the malicious growths.
I have nothing for this hit.
Oh, jump away, jump away. Okay, that's fine.
I combust now. We
I
can start
block
kiting it through. Kite it through after this.
I'm gonna bark you here, yeah, still sure.
Now just remember, I have to get the trap before you pull.
So I start hitting these malicious
Yeah,
I'm
growths
gonna
just
try
to
and get it
help
as soon as I
the
can.
ranged and the rest of my
Okay.
group get through,
Watch
and
the-
also
watch the
because I don't want to
seconds.
burn both of my fell rushes getting to the mob, and then not be able to get out of Dark Fury. So I just commit to killing those growths for a little bit, and also letting the ignite take down the growths ahead of me.
Can we drop it a little bit? Can we drop it like on Moon Marker?
I don't know what that is, but yeah.
Trust you're in danger.
On you.
That's
So
hard.
for this next pack, our hunter's trapping this
When you don't have- when you
Deathbringer
don't
over
have
this
anything,
side,
you just hotspot,
and we're just gonna pull this
make it
Defiler into the 5-pack over here.
I just needed to be away from the pack trolling towards us.
Remember, are we
But not too close. Look out for the worms.
Yes. CCing, yes. He's gonna trap it. So that's why we're coming
Yeah.
out of Moon Marker.
So I have
Oh,
to
Zoltas,
come
you're
out.
getting the Death Beacon on this pack, okay?
Yeah.
No.
Sure, so you don't aggro next pack, okay.
Yeah, I know.
With him, yeah,
With
cool.
Jewel.
I got the trap.
Okay, so the trap's
I can
on, we
close
pull the
that,
Defiler in.
I can bust the
Me
fight,
and the
but you
tank
also
are
need to
kicking the
focus
Defiler.
on
You only
it.
need 2 melee interrupts on a rotation to get every single cast. So we make sure that the tank's kicking first, and then I'm getting the next one.
Skull X and Star all very healthy, yeah? All these guys.
Again, our healer's calling the healthy targets, and I should be swapping. There we go.
Oh shit. Do you have to retrap or no?
Yeah, I'm taunting this way,
No, 26 seconds.
My pick next.
Did
Did it work?
Yep.
Oh, it worked, it worked.
Yeah.
So what our
Retrap,
healer did
13.
was he taunted and pulled one of the low
Right,
health
kicks in
mobs
for
out
this push,
and
push,
just
push.
killed it out of range of the rest of them so that we didn't get the bolster stack. Which, if you're comfortable doing
I
that,
see it
it's a
cross, yeah.
massive play. Like,
just get
it's
under.
such a big
Zoltas get
benefit.
Star.
Save kicks for next pack, right? It's range kicks.
Can we
Go
just
for
double Defiler? Oh, too late.
So this next one
Yeah,
we're doing the
I see
Death
it, the follow,
Speaker
I get
and Horror together.
Oh, whatever.
It gets a little bit worrisome at the end of this pack, just
I'm
because
bouncing
we
well.
don't
Keep the
necessarily
Death
have
Speaker.
enough kicks for every single Horror interrupt,
Next one.
since we need a ranged interrupt on the Death Speaker as well. So we have to use our
He's
stuns
combusting.
and like
He's
CCs on the
combusting
Horror.
We need more on Death Speaker.
I get next one.
Okay.
Axie next worm, Zoltas next star.
Yo,
I stun.
We don't have stuns yet. We need Alb Fear. DB next.
Raiden can stun after the DP.
I'm trapping you.
I'm next worm now.
Nice.
So
I'm
for this
skull
next
conscious,
double
wait,
defiler
maybe a few
pack,
seconds we can
we
get off.
focus target
really
the skull and
focus
try and
the
kill
skull,
that
bro.
first.
Focus skull, really focus skull.
And the reason we focus skull, even though
Actually,
there's
yellow
bolstering,
cross.
is because we don't have enough kicks if we get through to the second range interrupt.
I'm next cross.
I'm second skull.
And you'll see that we even have to use like Typhoon and
Big damage
NG
skull.
Belt knockback to interrupt their like fourth cast. Because we've used our melee kicks, then the range kicks go
Okay, next
off.
skull.
So there's the second range kick, and then it's melee again, and then after the melee interrupts, we don't have a fourth kick.
Move.
So here, I get my melee kick, we kill
Yeah, so
skull,
this is
and then we've got
going
no
into my
interrupts for
belt.
X. So we use Typhoon,
Now, Raiden.
Typhoon interrupt, and then NG Belt knockback. Into our mages
Belt is
interrupt.
kick.
Into mine.
My kick next. 4 seconds of pot, should we wait?
Just go. No, it's not worth it. Pots are never worth waiting for. Cause like pots an additional 50k per person, right? Like I saw like 2 spells per person like makes up for it.
I'm not sure why it didn't meta
Oh, I dropped
earlier
so
here.
bad.
It's fine.
I can't remember what my logic
So another
was.
walk slot probably.
No, Zoltas runs through a few nice blocks here. I'm gonna block you here, Zoltas, try your best.
Alright.
I disengaged early.
Okay, sure, so you need to manually soak a few now.
I
Okay,
saw
this
2
side.
there.
No, we get all.
You go.
Nice work,
I
good
blur.
shit.
I don't even think we needed me to save.
Rally or no?
Yes.
So on this boss, the first lot of mushrooms or whatever that come out,
Nice.
they're the only ones that are, or they're the only ones that
I
should be
don't
hard
see.
to soak, depending on like
Okay.
RNG of where they spawn. Because you've only got 2 upheavals and 1 shockwave, whereas every other phase in this fight, you get 2 upheavals and 2 shockwaves.
Watch frontal here.
There are of course still times where like, you know, if we don't place the upheavals in a good spot or the mini mushrooms are spread out too far, you won't get every single one, but
I'll
most
do
of the
this one.
time you
I'll do
can.
this- I'll do that solo, don't worry.
Or there's 1 or 2 left
One
and you just get a
gets the
tank
best,
to
that's
soak
all,
it and
I'll
it's,
do a sec.
it's fine.
Okay, no one. There's a double, I'll do those. Oh, okay.
I get these 2 far out
do you
here
do with
because I
yourself?
wasn't
Just
sure
like
how
high
much
shockwave and everything.
like this shockwave would clear,
On your shorts with
and in
Bark, go for it.
hindsight, I feel like it's the same either way. Like he has to soak 2
Darkness
regardless.
triggered. I'm drinking.
So I put my darkness here to help with the upheaval.
Oh, it procced on me, bro.
Not the upheaval, the festering harvest, and it procced on 3 of us,
Second
so
proc,
only
yeah,
2
okay.
people took damage from that, which is massive.
Easy, me too. I'm turning this to the right. Watch this. It's like aiming in a bit.
I missed one. I'm soaking with Rachel.
Yeah, good call.
I have blur next eruption.
Big damage, yeah? Keep going.
I get corruption slowed here, so I probably should have moved out a bit earlier, but it
Yeah,
worked.
so
Another.
Has to be shorts.
I'll take one.
I got one.
Yeah,
I will health bot barrier.
please.
So that's a lot of damage that comes out, and our hunter ends up getting 1 shot, but
Very
fortunately the boss is low enough
no,
that it doesn't
just
actually
take it,
matter,
just
and we
take it,
don't lose
just
too
take
much
it,
time.
2 v is pretty good.
Yeah.
Alex, you rune up after this. This kill
Already
boss.
ruined
Kill
it.
boss.
Attack power from yeah.
I know, don't worry. Huck the
I'm
left.
gonna go trap.
So our next pull is quite big. We're pulling a
Alex, you might have
corruptor
feed
in
up
with the
and trap
5
up after
guardian
the pull,
pack,
okay? But this is fine. The trap's fine.
along with a defiler as well. So we need to rotate kicks on the defiler and make sure that
I
none of them
will
go
kick
off
this
while
back
I
again.
interrupt the death speaker, and
no,
our
no,
mage
no,
can
no,
bust
let
on the
me,
corruptor since there's a massive health discrepancy.
Tricks me.
So you can see that corruptor at the back there, the
Melee
faceless
stack on
corruptor's
shorts,
got
yeah? Range, Alex
15.9
stack
million
on
health,
shorts,
whereas everything else has
I'll
like
first
under
defiler.
10 mil. So
Alex, your next
we can
defiler.
bust on the
Watch
corruptor,
frontal.
and I end up like swapping to single targeted
Alex,
as
your next
well,
defiler.
or like cleave
So I'll
off
have to
it
hold you
so
quick.
that everything dies relatively
Am I
evenly,
hitting Death Speaker?
and we don't bolster it.
Defiler. Watch your feet.
It's also like the one
Okay,
mob
never
that
mind.
makes this pack
Zoltas, your next
actually,
kick.
quote unquote, like technically difficult or whatever. Like you've got to dodge the frontal, you've got to dodge the mini tentacles underneath all the ads while getting your kicks, and watching the totems that spawn, etc.
Zoltas, your next
Like
kick.
that's the only thing that'll kill you in this pack basically is
Watch
if you
feet.
don't dodge the tentacles or the frontal.
Frontal. Alex, your next kick.
Melee stack Titan blue Marco here.
Watch feet. Now I'm gonna move in a second. We're moving.
Frenzy.
Alex, you just try best stack and Zoltas.
Watch feet in a second. And move. Watch feet. Move. Frontal. What do you think? Should we?
No,
Oh, we don't need
just
one.
go.
We
We're
don't
all
need a
dead.
percent. We don't need a percent.
So
Skull
we were
plus Star Moon,
contemplating,
I get Moon.
like one of the
Skull,
strategies that we
Skull
were
plus
thinking of
Cross.
using is pulling these
Alex.
guardians into a horror,
Very intricate.
and just like killing them
I'll
down,
take
but we don't need the percent, and they were also super low, so we didn't want to
Just wait, let
bolster
us
the
finish.
horror unnecessarily.
Right, do you think?
So what our hunter does is he pops his
Don't
trap,
heal,
he
don't
goes
heal.
and aggroes it, and it just gets CC'd. Then he dismisses
I'll
his
dismiss now, I'm
pets
not
while
doing
we
anything
go
else
and
yet.
enter the
Alex
obelisk.
and everyone going. You'll go far, Alex.
And
see
then
how we
once we're in
enter-
the
you go that
obelisk,
far,
he
and then
feigns
everyone
death
go.
to remove the
Yeah.
threat, and then enters the
Alright,
obelisk as
friends.
well.
Axie next.
I mean,
Maybe just bind
I
trap.
should have asked for this deck to come in.
Yeah, it's fine. I was watching the whole time for you, it's fine.
Axie.
So what we were talking about just
Alex,
then is
watch feet.
because the hunter's in the outside phase coming in
Watch
after
feet.
we've already activated, if one of the scarabs is exploding on
It's
the
not
totem
crazy.
where he spawns in, then he's just gonna get one shot. So he was saying he should have
Zoltas?
asked if it was safe to come in before he did.
Axie, watch feet.
If this is on Rainin, let it
Wait,
cast.
wait.
No,
Oh,
it's
it's
not.
Zoltas.
Melting.
I got next.
Fate,
I have to go. I have to kick and leave.
Maybe
Alex, Alex.
mine.
Snap. Max range snap.
How do you snap this?
Like over here somewhere, maybe try these mushrooms.
Just do Axie kick.
yeah,
no,
I'm too far,
control
too far,
range.
too far.
Zoltas kick. Axie next.
I don't know, I'm trying.
Go Zoltas.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't have Fell Rush there
Okay.
for it,
I
but
got
fortunately he
Resolution.
lives, otherwise it could have
Ooh.
been a bit
I
scary.
kick next. You don't have to. Yeah. This will go off. Brandon.
Bayford
Rally?
Lockskin, Rally.
Alex.
Axie into Alex.
Alex.
Mhm.
Okay.
Drag it a little bit further.
You take this.
You have to kick. You have to kick immediately.
Good enough.
Just
Fine,
trap,
fine, we get
trap.
out, we get out.
It's
It does a
good
little
trap.
bit close to the horror, but I know we can get out without aggroing it, so it's not
Did it
too
pull?
bad. I think our hunter
Melee stack,
popped a
range
trap
stack.
on it just in
Yeah.
case, but we didn't need it.
Alex just comes with us probably.
Yeah.
So for this fight,
Frontal,
all
Zoltas,
four of us
Zoltas.
stack on melee on square, and then our
Melee
mage
stack
just
will
stands
work.
out, so that we can call frontal on melee or frontal
Watch
on
feet,
range,
wait,
and it's
wait,
just
wait,
easier to
and
dodge
move.
all the tentacles as well. I could definitely do a
Frontal?
better job of like actually
Like
stacking
yours.
on our tank,
And
but
frontal again.
you know, it's
Not safe,
fine.
not
It
safe.
worked.
Take. Melee stack together.
Stack, square, and move. And move again. The stack. And frontal at Zoltas.
Frontal and melee.
At us. Move. Group up again. Look for square. Watch feet and move twice. One more. Careful, Alex.
Easy. Stack up on blue. Frontal
Zelda?
and melee.
Both. Yeah. Perfect.
I'm in melee now.
Watch feet. We're just gonna drag backwards. We're gonna walk backwards again. Keep walking back.
Stack up.
Frontal
Frontals?
here. Just move right.
2 frontals.
Don't worry, Axie. We'll come to you in a sec. Watch feet. And we drag.
Sorry.
So we
Watch
have
feet.
just over 5 minutes for
Watch
the last boss, which
Get
we
away,
know
get
is
away.
more than
It's
enough
all
time
set,
to
it's
do
all
the
set, it's all
obelisk and the
Remove
boss.
yourself, yeah.
So as long
Yeah,
as we
let's
play
go, let's go,
clean
yeah.
and survive, we know that
5
we've
minutes
timed
left.
this key.
We actually timed this key. Just play clean. Every defensive, every health bar, every healthstone on like on the initial shit, yeah.
Fear right, by the way. We're
Kill-
fine.
Just hard focus fear, right? Every defensive, everything on the pool.
You're gonna jinx me, Alex. Ready?
What
now? Going?
Just be careful threat on the obelisk right now. I could be careful with threat on the obelisk because there's so many times, especially on Skittish week,
Let's see
where
if we
it
get-
just comes out, immolation or a procs on it, and I just get threat and just get one shot. It's actually so dumb.
I got mines off. Just get away from me.
So the general strategy you do on this fight, if you didn't know, is you want to stack behind the boss, like away from the direction you're moving, so you can see that all these puddles are
Next
behind
house in
us.
5 seconds.
And when he does his spit, it goes all behind us. The Vile expulsion goes all behind us, and we just move through the boss, and we just keep moving around in a circle. That's the best way to do this fight. Otherwise, you just run out of space, or people take unnecessary stacks. The fear here is a little bit scary, but I fell rush in, and I've got plenty of time, so it's not the end of the world.
Run through. Next one in 3 seconds.
I got nothing for next year. I'll try and. Get
The
beat
damage
super
priority
fast.
is always on
safe.
this
Get
Sphere Head,
someone
like you
else.
want to
I'll
kill
just
it as
drink
soon as possible.
Rally.
Yes.
Next one 8 seconds. Run through hard, run through hard. Next one in 5, just try to kill.
We can kill.
We kill.
Second pot.
Health pot.
Nice work, Sheriff. That's it. Just play clean, I'll leave, yeah?
Second pot, yeah, if you have it, push boss.
I'm
Run
DPS
through.
forward.
Run through it and stay bait more left. Make sure we're baiting inside the room so it doesn't bounce.
Yep. So the reason he's calling
max
bait
damage,
more
yeah,
left,
tight.
like
We have 3
into the
minutes for-
room, is
yeah,
so that
we-
it
we
doesn't
have 3 minutes
bounce off
to
the
go to
walls.
boss, like, you know, yeah.
Because if it's facing the walls, it can bounce the spit off the walls and like go in front of us, and give us unnecessary stacks as
We
well.
have very good RNG in the poisons, so we barely take poison damage here. So I'm just gonna pump damage here.
Big damage, big damage.
Yeah, like we have extremely good RNG with the poisons. Like I'm not even healing.
Careful in killing the spores. Run through.
Run through.
Just run through.
Yo, we time this key right now, so just play safe. Never take any risk here. We actually just time this key.
Big damage though, big damage.
I'm in my eye right now.
Yeah.
No rally. Run through. Just run through. Nice. Run through deep, always deep. I'm moving a lot here, since it's kind of shit.
I racial.
Safe.
Hear it?
Take instantly.
Our mage dies. I'm pretty
Run
sure
through,
he
run
must
through,
have had like a spore spawn on
Ice
top
Cold
of
is
him, and then the spore
Rip up,
died,
pick up the-
dropped a puddle, and then killed him.
I'll finish
But
that
I'm not
dragon.
100% sure. It was off my camera. But we had 2 B-reses anyway, so it was
Watch
okay.
feet. MD me when these ads come in, Alex. Watch feet. Run through.
Run through early.
I'm worried about taking threat on that
Stun.
blood visage in
Hit
case it
boss.
actually hurts. I wasn't sure, so I stunned
2
it.
minutes for one set of ads here, yeah? Just play clean. Everyone, it's 1 health pot, 1 health stone. Zotas, you have both, yeah?
I'm fine. Don't kill me. Run through. This is hard run.
Oh, it's gonna bounce.
Zalta's not safe. Yeah. I'm fine. I got victory rusher.
Clear the spores in front of us as well, yeah? Like, don't risk them.
We're gonna run through some white stuff, is it? This is a really deep run.
Small opening.
Garrity?
Hotspots.
So we go for a run since
Nice
there's some
pick.
puddles ahead of us,
Moving a
and
lot
just
here.
move into
Big
open
damage.
space. So we've got like area to play. Since the boss is almost dead, we know we're not going to run out of space.
Okay,
Baiting this in. Just be careful. I'm gonna kill those spores. Run in.
Just a bit of space if you can. Yeah, that's good.
Skull marker. Kill skull.
just kill Skull, we're done, yeah? Dodge fronto coming out now. X marker, dodge
He's
fronto.
live.
And that's it. The boss dies. That was our first 27 that we timed, and we were so pumped after that. That's like rank 3 or maybe rank 4 or something.
In the world.
NA.
Outside.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so that was our 27 Underrot from last week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you found it interesting or helpful or anything like that, like as I said before, consider subscribing. I'm going to be doing this for a bunch of other keys that we did. And if you've got any feedback, constructive feedback, then let me know what you'd like to see or what I could do differently, and I'd really appreciate that. Next push week, like next Fortified week, so in like a week's time from now, I'm hopefully going to be streaming a lot of our keys as well on Twitch, so I'll put my link in the description below. Chuck that a follow so you can see when I go live, and come say hi. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.